Hello everyone, this is Pete and Shauna with Golly Family Discipleship, and we're here for our second study this week on 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Today we're going to cover verses 3 through 5, and I'm going to read them to you. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise his wife to her husband. The wife doesn't have the authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. In the same way, the husband doesn't have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. Do not deprive each other, except perhaps for mutual consent, for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Then come together again, so that Satan doesn't tempt you because your lack of self-control.
So the Apostle Paul is addressing the marriage bed. He is addressing the intimacy and sex within a marriage. He is explaining the importance of being faithful to one another in your physical needs and physical desires, and he is bringing out the need for that in order for your marriage to stay strong and stay pure.
And that's something that we have to remember, that he says that our body isn't our own, and when you become married, you become one flesh. One of the things that Shauna and I have discussed in marital counseling before with individuals is sex is something you have to be able to talk about, and it's something that you need to be on the same page before you become married, because you've got to be compatible, and you have to be on the same page. But as a husband and wife, it's our goal to meet the other's needs, and not just sexually. That also is physically and spiritually and mentally. And Shauna and I are people who are loved two totally different ways. Shauna likes to be hugged on. She likes to be close. She likes to cuddle on the couch. She likes that kind of stuff. I'm not a touchy-feely person. No, I just like to be in the same room with you and just spend time, right, Shauna?
Yeah.
I'm like a time person.
Yeah.
Let's just be together. And she is more of a intimate person, where she needs touch and contact, feelings. She wants you to massage her feet and rub her back and things like that. And now that we got boys, I get them to do it for me, to show her that.
Yeah, which lasts all of 2 seconds.
No, but see, that's the thing about the marriage bed. And whenever you become one, is that you have to deny yourself to meet the needs of your partner.
Right, but your partner has to deny themselves and meet the needs of their partner. So it's important that you know what one another, how we love and how we receive love, how we give love. It's important for us to know how we feel loved. So that is something that communication comes in. You know, the Apostle Paul makes it a point to let us know that there needs to be purity in the marriage, and purity will come when there is communication and when there is needs met. Temptation will decrease when needs are met.
Right, that's one of the reasons he says there in verse 5. He says you meet each other's needs so that there isn't temptation in the marriage bed.
Right.
Someone isn't going outside of that union to look for something to satisfy their needs, because their spouse is satisfying them.
Right. So if your spouse is satisfied, then you won't have to worry about your spouse going out looking for someone else or to be satisfied by someone else.
And then once again, it's sacrificial love.
Yeah.
As Christ loved the church. I mean, that we have to be willing to give of ourselves, even if it makes us uncomfortable at times, to show the love that they love and that they endure. And in all things, in marriage, it's a triune relationship.
Right.
It's a husband, it's a wife, and God is at the top. So God is a part of that relationship, and God needs to remain the focal point of that relationship.
Right.
And meeting each other's needs is also the most important thing, is spiritually. You need to be leading each other closer to Christ.
Absolutely.
All the time. You need to be growing closer to God. It's that pyramid where you're on one end or on the other, and Jesus is in the middle, and both of you is going up the sides to get to the top, to meet Jesus. And you have to be heading in that direction. And Shauna does that for me, and hopefully I do that for her. We're constantly pushing each other closer to God.
So that'll end our discussion for today, and tomorrow we'll have another discussion. And remember to read the blogs every day. Remember to be reading your scripture, 1 Corinthians chapter 7. You know, if you have a difficult marriage, maybe this is a chapter that you need to study together. But until next time, remember to encounter God, to exalt God, edify yourself, and engage the world. But we'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.
God bless.